Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. We are live on Thursday morning, highlighting some of the best young adults in our community, the future entrepreneurs that always have such cool and creative ideas, and we want to bring them to you. Now, this is through the PCCAPS program, also in conjunction with the Lassonde Entrepreneur Institute Challenge, and I'm joined by Park City High School students Sage, Grace, Bryce, and our friend Kyle. Good morning to all of you.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, for people that may not know about the PCCAPS program and the cool, real-life, hands-on experience this gives you, can you tell us a little bit about it, Sage?
It's just a program through the high school, and it partners with a lot of businesses, and it helps to bring a lot of opportunities to the students at the high school through like business, and then there's engineering, we're in the entrepreneurship class there, so we get to experience like entrepreneurship type opportunities.
And I wish this existed when I was in high school. What fantastic real-world hands-on experience where you're not just doing these school projects that have no applicable results in the real world, but you're really encouraged to solve a problem, create a business, and see it all the way through. And tell people, this is just such a funny idea. Tell people what your goal was, what your idea was.
So our kind of project that we did was Pringles cans are often too small to fit your hand in, and your hand gets stuck.
They totally are.
So our idea was to create a spring that raises the chips as they're taken off the top of the stack, and so people don't have to reach their hand all the way to the bottom of the can to get the last chips.
And I'm sorry, but you age out of it, and then your hand just gets stuck, and you can't get them, and then you're breaking them trying to like shake them out of the can. I totally get it.
Yeah.
So this was obviously something that was near and dear to your heart. I'm having sour cream and onion flashbacks of not being able to get the last chip. So Bryce, how did you guys start the project when you came up with this idea? What was the process like for you?
So we were told by our teacher that the first step to creating a business is finding a problem and then finding the solution for it. And so we kind of brainstormed a bunch of problems that we have in our daily lives, and it came to, our car is frozen in the mornings to, our hands get stuck in Pringles cans. So we went that route.
You're like, that's what really
We went that route, and then we have some physics expertise by Sage, and she said we could use a spring, and we figured it's cheap to manufacture and easy to install, and it just all took off.
I'm sorry, but I can just see this in the grocery store aisle right next to the Pringles cans. Like, save your last chips with your spring. I think it's such a clever idea. And Kyle, how did you get involved in this process?
So I'm really just like watching them go through the physics and like just there for emotional support. So what I did was it's a little project that I had designed. So I'm huge into music. I've always been big into music. And so there's this technology called Lowfelt from Berlin, and they got kickstarted. And what they did was they put a little watch. It looks like a little smartphone or like the Apple Watch.
Okay.
And this is called a tactile transducer or bass shaker. And what it does is it actually sends bass signals through your arm and through your body. However, it only got to your elbow, but I thought it was amazing. I was like, this is a subwoofer music that not only do you hear, but you feel it.
So this is a separate project that you're submitting for the Entrepreneurial Challenge.
Yes.
But this is literally like music you can feel.
Yes, exactly. So typically, speakers push the coil and push air, so that's why we get to hear them.
Okay.
But tactile transducers, where instead of pushing air, they push a physical mass, so that's why you can get them vibrating. And because physics, the frequency is only determined by the material that you're moving, by that frequency of the pulse. Doesn't matter if it's air or mass, you're still going to get the same sort of sound.
Okay.
So the idea was have half of it kind of integrated into clothing, and then there's some other ideas that I have, but this is one that I had drawn up by a really good friend of mine. That's even worth showing.
Right.
My sketches for the other ones
Your sketches are all
not
happening
worth,
up here, yes, fair
they're
enough.
not worth showing. But the idea is that half of it would be music on the go, and then half of it would be healing.
So it's like panels all along the side.
Integrated into clothing, right. So the idea would be fitting into compression shirts where it would be skin tight, so you don't want this kind of technology to be loose around the skin, or else it'd just be vibrating on top of you, not through you. So there's a lot of new medical research that's fascinating coming out, talking about how there's different frequencies that do a lot of healing things.
Okay.
For instance, 40 hertz resonates with the lungs, and people with cystic fibrosis can use that to get mucus out of their lungs. And there's already a vest out there right now that does that, but with air vibrations. There's 110 hertz, I keep saying frequencies.
No,
hertz.
please, Kyle.
And that releases beta endorphins in the body, which is a protein used for pain mitigation, amongst other things. There's another frequency that's used for bone regeneration and healing, for wound healing. There's also one to strengthen cell walls. So theoretically, the limits for this kind of technology of what you could resonate with are endless. But these are just some of those things that are out now.
Kyle, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Of course you are. This is all new cutting edge technology, of course, but the idea of having music that you can actually feel is cool enough as it is. But then to actually take it a step further and say, these are sound waves, these are things that actually can heal the body, regenerate cells. This is part of a PCHS high school program.
I'm not part of PCHS.
You're doing the
I'm doing my
entrepreneurial
own
challenge.
thing.
So what's the goal with the entrepreneurial challenge? There's a cash prize, correct? So
And
you submit your
scholarship.
ideas and a scholarship. Tell me what the process is for people that want to support you guys.
So you submit your idea, and then right now there's a voting period, and it ends on April 14th. Is that right?
14th, yep. So next Friday.
Okay, so Lausanne Entrepreneur Institute Challenge. You can go online. You can vote for these different ideas. Do you know what the website is?
It's a little bit weird. You're going to have to Google, and I'm not kidding you, you're going to have to Google this. Lausanne, HSUEC, LASSONDE, because the link to give you that is it's crazy.
Buried
hammer.
under lots
But it's
of
on the right.
layers of Google. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll make it a little bit more challenging for you, but Google Lausanne and then Entrepreneurial Institute Challenge, hopefully that will come up. We can see the Park City High School students. If that last Pringles has just been killing you for all of these years, they've solved it with a spring. And I think this is amazing cutting edge technology to actually put things into the clothes. I mean, I know compression clothing right now is really sort of reaching its peak and its apex, but this is adding a whole nother, well, layer to it. If we wanna, yeah, I said that first thing. Okay. Well, congratulations to all of you. What an exciting way to wrap up the school year, and I wish you all luck. So not only is there a cash prize, there's also scholarship money involved.
Yep.
All right, I can see it in your future. As always, thanks for stopping by the studio.
Thank you.
We want to make sure that you encourage all of the young people in your lives to think big, dream big, and come up with fantastic ideas. And thank you to the Park City Education Foundation and the PCCAPS program for inspiring all the youngest members of our community. We're going to take a quick break here on the show and be back with Wasatch State Park and Joe Davis in a very fun hat. You won't want to miss it right after this.